Thank you very much for clicking on the video. My name is Rohit. Welcome to Grammar Fit, English Made Easy. Today we are going to talk about wishes and hypotheses. Wishes are wishes of hope or desire for something. Hypotheses, things that we imagine. Let's start learning. Number one, we use past tense modals, would and could, to talk about wishes for the future. So let's say my present situation is not good and I really wish that it would change in future. Let's take a look at the first example. Let's say I'm working somewhere and I don't like my work. So I wish I could get a better job in future. Let's take a look at the second example. That's a dreadful noise in the background. I'm sure you could hear that. So I really wish it would stop soon. I always have to get home early. My parents don't allow me to stay out after 8 o'clock in the evening, and I wish my parents would let me stay out later. So I really want things to change in future, so I use would and could to talk about wishes for the future. I could say I am working somewhere. Okay, we have already taken it. Let's say I have a friend or a girlfriend. She's okay, but she's not faithful. So I can say I have a girlfriend, but I really wish I could find someone better, someone honest, someone loving and caring. Let's take a look at the second point. We use past tense forms to talk about wishes for the present. So, something is going on, right? But I'm not happy. So, I wish the situation was different. Let's take a look. First example, I don't like this place. Let's say now I live in Delhi. It's the most polluted, crowded city in the world. So, I wish I lived in somewhere more interesting. For example, Paris or London. Second example, these seats are very uncomfortable. I wish we were traveling first class. So, you're traveling by plane, you don't like your seat because you don't like your seat. It's very uncomfortable and you wish you were traveling by first class. Unfortunately, you don't have money, so you can't do it. Everyone wishes they had more free time. Everyone is busy. They work very hard and they don't have time for their families and their friends, so they wish they had more free time. So at present, you do something, but you wish for something else, which is not going to happen, which is not true. Let's take another look. John wishes he wasn't so busy. So John is very busy in real, but he wishes that he wasn't so busy. So he could spend some time with his family and friends. I wish it wasn't so cold. So let's take a look. I'm in London. It's very cold, and I really wish it wasn't so cold. So I wish the situation was different at present. Number three, we use the past perfect to talk about wishes for the past that were not fulfilled. So you wanted something in the past, but it didn't happen. It didn't take place. But now you wish that things were different. Let's take a look. I wish I had worked harder when I was at school. So when you were at school, you didn't work hard, you didn't study hard, so you had to go to college, not the good one, because you couldn't score, you know, above par to get admission in a good college. So now at the present, you wish that you had done something better or different in the past, and your situation could be different. Mary wishes she had listened to what her mother told her. So let's say Mary did something bad in the past. Her mother tried to stop her, but she did not listen. And now she regrets. So she wishes that she had listened to her mother. I wish I hadn't spent so much money last month. Okay? My mother is asking me to go to another city with her, but I don't have money. So I have to take money from my mother, which is not good because I work. I should be spending my money. But unfortunately, I didn't save last month. That's why I don't have money right now. So now I wish that I hadn't spent so much money last month. So the things that you did or you didn't do in the past and now you regret for doing it and for not doing it. Take a look at hypothesis. That means the things that we imagine. We are talking about hypothesis here. Take a look at the first example. We use present tense forms after phrases like what if, in case, and suppose to talk about the future if we think it is likely to happen. The chances are very high that it will happen. Let's take a look. Those steps are dangerous. Suppose someone has an accident. That means it's very likely that someone might face an accident or meet an accident in future because those steps are dangerous and not even. We should leave home early in case we are late. So, if we don't leave early, we might miss our train or the plane. So, the chances are very high that it might happen. Okay? Let's take a look at the second thing. We use past tense form to talk about the future after suppose and what if to suggest something is not likely to happen. So, in the last example, we talked about the things which were likely to happen, but now we are talking about things which are not likely to happen. Let's say it might be dangerous, suppose they got lost. So, it's just a hypothesis that it might be dangerous if they got lost, but the situation is not likely to happen, right? So, just things that you imagine for future, right? What if he lost his job? What would happen then? So, this is a thing that you are just imagining, but the chances are very less and it's not likely to happen because he has a strong job, he's working hard, he's a top performer, his boss loves him, so he's not going to lose his job in the near future. Yeah, but this is just that we imagine. What if he lost his job? What would happen then? Then we use models. For example, would, could for a hypothesis about the future. Let's say we can't all stay in a hotel, it would be very expensive. So this is a thing that you are imagining right now. Let's say you're going to Thailand and you are backpackers, you're students, you don't have much money. So now you all decide to stay at the hotel and it's going to be very expensive. So you say it would be very expensive if we all stay in a hotel. So what do? You decide to stay at the dormitory where you can share the same room with different beds. So you can save a lot of money. Second example, drive carefully, you could have an accident. So let's say you're driving with someone, and so somebody is driving you somewhere. You're sitting next to him, he's driving very fast. And you tell him, if you don't drive carefully, we could have an accident. So this is a thing that you imagine in future. Next next example. We use would in the main clause. I hope you know the main clause is a clause which is independent. And the past, so you use would in the main clause. For example, I would always help. And the past in a subordinate clause to talk about the imagined future. Subordinate is not an independent clause, so it needs a dependent clause to make some meaning. So green is a independent clause or subordinate clause. Let's take a look. I would always help someone who really needed help. I would always help someone if they really needed it. So these are the things that you imagine for the future. So let's say you don't have a job and you find it very difficult to help someone financially, or let's say your parents. And you imagine the situation that, let's say, if you get a job in future, let's say after completing your studies or your college, and you say, I would always help my parents if they really needed my help. but you feel that it's not going to happen because they are well settled, they are saving money for the rainy day. So the chances are very less, but you are ready to help in future. We can take one more example. I would always help my father if he needed it. So let's say my father is all healthy, he's all good, but let's say after a few years when he grows old and he can't live alone, so you say I would always help him if he needed it. Hmm? The likelihood is very less. It's not going to happen because he looks after himself. I'm sorry, himself. So yeah, it's going to be great. Then let's take a look at the next one. We use model with have to. I'm sorry, have to talk about something that did not happen in the past. So now let's say something did not take place in the past, but you imagine that it could have happened. Let's take a look. I did not see Mary, or I might have spoken to her. So let's say you went to London, you did not meet her there, but you're telling me now that if I if I had met her, I might have spoken to her. So it's a pity Jack wasn't at the party. He would have enjoyed this party. So you went to the party with everyone, but Jack wasn't there. But then you imagine if he was there, he would have enjoyed the party. Why didn't you ask me? I could have told you the answer. So let's say you were giving exams, your friend didn't ask you. So you tell him after completing that you should have asked me. I could have told you the answer. Thank you all very much for clicking, and I'm sure you have learned something new. I would request you to click on subscribe and click this bell button after that so you can get the notification as soon as I upload a new video, so you can be part of this channel and we can learn together. Thank you very much, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye. Take care.